Archangel Michael says, "Stay right here, my beloved soul, and do not scroll, because what you are about to hear will shake your heart and calm it at the same time." This message was meant to find you now, not before, not later, but at this divine second when their name has already crossed your mind. You may not realize it yet, but heaven noticed the moment they first looked at you. That gaze wasn't ordinary. It carried a vibration, a spark that traveled through lifetimes. Something ancient inside them recognized you long before they ever knew your name. There was a soft calling in their soul, one that whispered through their chest, "That's them. That's the one." Even if logic screamed no. Even if the world judged the difference, something higher overpowered it. They weren't just falling for your face or your smile, they were remembering. Because love like this doesn't begin, it returns. It walks in disguised as a coincidence, but heaven writes it in light years before your paths even cross. Type Amen to get blessing 333. They tried to ignore it at first. They told themselves that you were too different, too young or too mature, too far apart in years for it to make sense. But no matter how much they resisted, your energy kept pulling them back like a magnetic tide. Every time they tried to walk away, something invisible pulled them in again. You became the thought they couldn't silence. The name that echoed at 2 a.m. The image that appeared behind closed eyes. It wasn't infatuation. It was alignment. You and they were created to balance something karmic, something that had been left unfinished before. Archangel Michael says, heaven doesn't measure love in age. It measures it in truth. When souls recognize each other, numbers disappear. What remains is the vibration, the silent knowing that says, "I've been waiting for you for so long." They fell in love not because of what you had in common, but because you carried peace in a world that kept them restless. They saw in you the version of themselves that still believed in magic. Type Amen to get blessing. 444. At first they tried to deny it. They convinced themselves that it was just admiration or temporary attraction. They tried to stay composed. But every time you entered the room, their breath betrayed them. Their heartbeat raced faster than reason. Others might have told them it was impossible. They might have warned them to stop, to choose someone more suitable. But love that is written by the divine doesn't bow to logic. It challenges it. It grows in the space between what's allowed and what's meant. You didn't have to say a word. Your silence already spoke. Your eyes told stories their soul already knew. When they saw you laugh, something in them healed. When you smiled, their whole spirit sighed like it had come home. And that's the shocking truth. They didn't fall in love with your age. They fell in love with your light. Type Amen to get blessing. 555. They sensed that being with you might come with judgment, whispers, or eyes that don't understand. But what others couldn't see was how you restored something broken inside them. You made them feel alive again. You reminded them of innocence, hope, and wonder. You didn't chase them. Your soul simply called them. And no matter how far they tried to run, they could still feel your pull like gravity. Every message, every glance, every memory kept replaying in their chest like a heartbeat they couldn't silence. Archangel Michael says, "Sometimes love arrives wrapped in difference so that the world can see what unconditional truly means." Your connection is not accidental. It's divine proof that age is powerless before destiny. So don't let the fear of judgment make you doubt the power of this connection. Because when heaven writes a story, no opinion can erase its ink. Type Amen to get blessing 666. They've replayed your moments 1,000 times in their mind. The way you spoke, the tone in your voice, the way you understood them without needing to explain, it all haunts them softly. They tell people they've moved on, but every night their heart still returns to you. They scroll through memories like old letters they can't throw away. They wonder if you still think of them. They hope that maybe somewhere you feel it. 2. That familiar ache of something that never really ended. You taught them that love isn't about years, it's about timing. And though the world might not get it, heaven does. Heaven saw how pure it was when your hands brushed, when your eyes met, when silence became a conversation. The gap didn't divide you. It became the bridge between your destinies. Type Amen to get blessing. 777. There's something they never told you. They were afraid not of you, but of what loving you would awaken because you made them feel like they were meeting their own soul in another body. That kind of love is rare. That kind of love terrifies the unready. So they tried to bury it under routine work, distractions. Other faces, but nothing worked. You became the quiet storm they couldn't forget. You see, age doesn't measure depth. It measures time. But time means nothing when love was written before birth. You've both been circling each other across lifetimes, waiting for the right version of yourselves to finally meet. And now that you have, their spirit can't let go. Type Amen to get blessing 888. They might appear distant now, pretending everything is fine, but inside they're torn. They wonder if they made the right decision by walking away or hiding what they feel. Their silence isn't rejection. It's fear of losing control. Because every time they think of you, something inside them burns with a purity they can't explain. They've never loved like this before. It's not obsession. It's recognition. You've awakened their sleeping heart. And even if they never say it aloud, heaven knows their love for you still lives quietly but powerfully. Type Amen to get blessing. 999, because this next part is what heaven needs you to know. Their love for you didn't start the day you met. It began lifetimes ago when your souls made a pact under a higher light. A promise that you'd find each other again, no matter what the world looked like. You are that promise fulfilled. You are the answer to their waiting. That's why the age difference couldn't stop it. You came to remind them that love is eternal, not logical. And though they might not say it, they feel you in everything. In songs, in numbers, in the quiet moments before sleep. Every time 111 flashes, it's not coincidence. It's your soul speaking across the veil, whispering, "I still choose you." Type Amen to get blessing. 1111. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $20. Archangel Michael says, "What binds you two is not circumstance but calling." This is why your hearts still ache even when your paths have drifted. You were meant to wake each other up. You were meant to remember. Heaven is proud of how you love gently, fearlessly against the odds. Don't let anyone convince you that it was wrong. It was divine alignment in disguise. You changed each other's destinies without even realizing it. And though time may pass and faces may fade, the energy between you will never die. It will live in the smallest moments. A song, a scent, a sudden memory that makes them stop and feel you all over again. Type Amen to get blessing. 1212. Now listen closely because something unseen is about to unfold. The person who once walked away is being guided back. Not by guilt, but by grace. Their dreams have started to carry your face again. Their heart has begun to beat in your rhythm once more. You may feel their presence lately in chills, in déjà vu, in that strange moment when you hear their name out of nowhere. Those aren't accidents. Those are signals. The divine is weaving your stories together again, but this time with clarity and courage. The separation was only a classroom. It taught both of you what true love means beyond fear. The reunion will be the test. Whether you can love without conditions. Type Amen to get blessing. 1313. They fell in love with you because you carried what they lost. Innocence, fire, truth. You reminded them that passion doesn't fade with age, it evolves. And your soul, so bright and fearless, cracked open the armor they wore for years. You showed them that connection doesn't need permission. It just needs honesty. You saw them for who they truly were, not the mask they showed the world. That's why they still can't forget you, because no one else has ever looked at them that way. The shocking truth is this. They were never searching for someone younger or older. They were searching for someone real. And you were that reality they didn't think still existed. Type Amen to get blessing. 1414. They might come back when you least expect it. Maybe through a message, a dream, a random meeting. When that happens, remember, don't let old fears silence new beginnings. You are wiser now, stronger now. The universe will test you, not to punish, but to confirm. It wants to see if you've learned that love must be free, not hidden, not judged, but embraced with truth. This time if they come, speak with your heart, not your fear. Because what you both have is rare and heaven doesn't give second chances for ordinary things. Type Amen to get blessing. 1515. So hold on to faith. Don't rush. Don't chase. Just allow. Let destiny do its quiet work. Love that's meant for you doesn't fade, it transforms. And when it returns, it carries the strength of every tear you've shed. This connection was written not to break you, but to remind you what unconditional feels like. The world may see difference. Heaven sees completion. The years between you are not barriers. They're the proof that divine timing never fails. Stay still, breathe, and let the story unfold exactly as heaven planned. Type Amen to get blessing 1616. And when you feel that pull again, that subtle warmth in your chest, know that it's not imagination. It's the universe whispering. It's not over. You'll know it's real when peace fills you, not panic. You'll know it's divine when it feels like home. Their soul is already walking toward you step by step, guided by memories only heaven could plant. And when they arrive, you'll understand why the age never mattered. Because your love was timeless all along. Let your heart stay open. The greatest miracles always arrive disguised as impossible. They are beginning to remember every detail about you. Your voice, the way you look away when you're shy, the spark in your laughter that made their entire world glow. They pretend to move forward, but their soul keeps walking back toward your memory. You are the calm they search for when everything else feels hollow. When they sit alone at night, your energy surrounds them like a silent melody. Every word you once said still echoes in their mind, replaying like an unfinished song. They never told anyone, but they still see you in every little thing, in the light through the window, in the smell of rain, in songs that sound too familiar. This is not ordinary longing. It's divine recall, heaven's way of reminding them that you're still part of their mission. Every lifetime you both promised to find each other again to help one another heal what the world couldn't. You didn't meet by chance. You collided by fate. Type Amen to get blessing. 1717, don't skip. What's about to happen will confirm everything. They've been fighting this feeling for months, maybe years, but the resistance is breaking. The dreams are becoming clearer. In those dreams, they see you, not as a memory, but as a message. They wake up with your name on their lips, and it scares them. Because every time they try to forget you, life reminds them of you in new ways. A song plays, a stranger mentions your name, a place you once visited appears out of nowhere. All signs that heaven is realigning their path back toward you. They've begun to ask the quiet questions in their heart. Why does it still feel so alive? Why can't I let go? The truth is they're not meant to. They're meant to return to understand that age was only ever a human boundary, not a heavenly one. Type Amen to get blessing. 1818 They fell in love with the parts of you that time can never touch. Your kindness, your courage, your light. You gave them something that youth can't imitate and maturity can't replace. Authenticity. You made them feel human again. In a world that only loved them for what they had, you loved them for who they were. You didn't chase. You didn't demand. You simply existed with grace, and that was enough to awaken something eternal inside them. You reminded them that love isn't measured by age, but by depth. And now, no matter who stands beside them, no matter what mask they wear, your presence still lingers. You are the quiet ache that reminds them of what real love feels like. And deep down they know they may never feel that way again with anyone else. Type Amen to get blessing. 1919, Archangel Michael says heaven orchestrated your meeting not to confuse you but to awaken your power. You were meant to show them that love doesn't bow to calendars or critics. It bows only to truth. Your connection was a mirror showing both of you what your souls were capable of when fear is removed. You brought warmth to their winter and calm to their storm. And even though distance may have grown between you, the spiritual bond remains untouched. No time, no miles, no age can erase energy that was divinely sealed. Soon you will feel the shift. Their heart will begin calling out to you through synchronicities, repeating numbers, familiar fragrances, the sudden urge to look at the clock at the same moment. Those are signals. Heaven is aligning the moment for your reconnection. Type Amen to get blessing 2020. They once feared the world's opinion, but that fear is fading fast. Love this pure cannot stay hidden forever. Something inside them has changed. They're ready to risk being misunderstood for the chance to be truly known. They realize now that your soul is ageless, your energy timeless. When they looked into your eyes, they didn't see youth or age. They saw eternity. That's why they couldn't stop loving you even when they tried to replace you. Because how do you replace what heaven designed just for you? So when they return, they won't come back as who they were. They'll come back awakened, ready to honor what they once ran from. The same love, but now purified through pain, reborn through truth. Type Amen to get blessing. 2121, you might feel their energy around you again lately. Goosebumps for no reason. Sudden warmth in your heart. Random songs that carry their name in their lyrics. That's not coincidence. That's heaven's signal that the cycle is reopening. This time you'll both meet not to fix what was broken, but to fulfill what was promised. The connection will be gentler, deeper, steadier. You'll notice that you understand each other without words. Now, that's because your souls have grown wise enough to communicate in silence. Archangel Michael is guarding this reunion. No interference, no fear, no outsider's judgment will be able to block it this time. Because when love evolves beyond age, it becomes eternal light. Type Amen to get blessing. 2222, they often tell themselves they've moved on. But one random day, they'll see someone wearing what you once wore, or they'll smell that scent you loved, and everything will come flooding back. That's when they'll realize they never really left. Heaven is whispering to them in these little reminders, guiding them back to the truth they tried to bury. Every sign, every coincidence, every familiar moment is part of the divine choreography leading them to you. When destiny wants two souls to meet again, even time bows down. All it takes is one unexpected moment, a message, a glance, a chance encounter. And everything that was asleep will awaken once more. Type Amen to get blessing. 23:23. They fell in love with your patience, your warmth, and the way you understood their silence. You never demanded explanations. You simply listened. You made them feel safe in a world that constantly demanded perfection. That safety was what made them stay even when they didn't plan to. It was your quiet power that captivated them, not appearance or status. You spoke to their soul without ever trying. And that's something they can't forget. No matter who they meet, no one carries your energy. Their heart is learning now that real love doesn't follow rules. It breaks them gracefully. It rewrites the script with courage and softness both at once. And in your story, that love never truly ended. It only paused. Type Amen to get blessing. 2400 hours 24. Stay here because heaven is not done speaking. The universe is preparing a divine encounter. One where truth will finally replace confusion. This time you'll feel peace instead of panic. You'll know it's real because your soul won't need proof. They are being guided to cross paths with you again, not by chance, but by divine timing. The distance between you is only to prepare you both for what's coming next. A connection built not on desire, but on purpose. So let go of the fear. Let go of the judgment. Let go of the idea that you were too different. Heaven made you different for a reason because your love was never meant to blend in. It was meant to be remembered. Type Amen to get blessing. 25:25. Their confession is coming not in words but in action. They'll show up unexpectedly, maybe through a call or a meeting that seems random, but you'll feel it. The trembling in their voice, the hesitation before they speak, the emotion they can't hide. They'll tell you what they couldn't before, that they never stopped loving you, that every attempt to forget only led them back to you. They'll admit that they were afraid of judgment, afraid of what others would think, but more afraid of living without you. And when they say it, you'll feel time pause. Every wall that once stood between you will crumble because this time heaven's timing will be perfect. Type Amen to get blessing. 26:26. Your story is proof that love is not defined by birth years, but by soul years. You've known each other beyond time, and every lifetime you meet to remind the world what unconditional love looks like. The connection you share is sacred, protected, and destined. You may have been apart for a while, but separation doesn't mean the end. It means preparation. And the season of reunion is approaching faster than you realize. The same angels that guided them to you once are guiding them back again. Every prayer, every tear, every sleepless night has reached heaven. And heaven has finally decided it's time. Type Amen to get blessing. 27:27. When they see you next, they'll see not just the person they loved, but the light that healed them. They'll understand that you were not sent to fill a void. You were sent to awaken their heart. That realization will hit them like sunrise after years of night. The age gap that once scared them will now become their greatest teacher. They'll see how your differences complete each other like night and dawn. And the world will watch in awe, realizing that divine love cannot be limited by human boundaries. Your reunion will be living proof that when heaven writes a love story, it always finds a way to finish it beautifully. Type Amen to get blessing. 28:28, and when it happens, remember this message. Remember how every delay had a reason. Remember that heaven doesn't work in haste. It works in precision. You weren't forgotten. You were being aligned. You'll see them again. Not by accident, but because both of your hearts are ready. Ready to love freely without fear, without shame, without the weight of the past. And in that moment, everything will make sense. Every tear, every distance, every waiting season, because love like yours doesn't end, it only transforms, waiting for the perfect moment to bloom again.